All right. Nope. I don't want this one. Okay. Perfect. All right. Here we go. So I got a crew in here. All right. Can you guys see this? Do we need more copies?
Yeah, I'm gonna get some more copies.
Here you go. That one. I got an extra one here. I have to keep one. He's got one. Okay, guys. So, so when I coach or teach, okay, understand that. Okay, real brief about me. To bowled a lot of years. I was a bowl coach for 6 years, and then I'm a KWU instructor, which I had to pass all these tests and do all these things to be able to do all this. Okay. Why does that matter to you guys is I'm going to model for you not only how to learn this, but I'm actually going to model how to teach it. Okay. What happens, there is a system to coaching and teaching. So I'm actually not only teaching you this, I'm actually going to show you how to present this to other people. Does that make sense? Like about 98% of what I'm going to talk about and say, I don't want to say it's scripted, but I'm not winging it. Okay. So for example, when you were talking to people, why should they be here? You explain the goal. So here's the goal of this time together. Okay. My goal is to help you guys learn how to communicate with other people at a high level. Has anybody here ever said something to somebody that you thought was great and they got upset? And then were you like me and you were like, that's not what I meant? Like you expected them to read your mind, to know what you meant? Did that go over well? Never does it? Okay, so first thing is the goal of this is to want to communicate with anybody in the way that they hear what you desire for them to hear. So first question is, who decides the message? The person giving the message or the person receiving it? This is a scream it out, say it out loud. Receiving it, correct. So you as the giver of the message, me as the giver of the message right now, doesn't matter what I say, it matters what you hear. The receiver determines what the message is. And if the receiver does not receive the message the way that you want them to receive it, who has to change?
Deliverer.
The deliverer. You have to get better. So DISC is a simple way to figure out who people are quickly and communicate in a way that they will understand. Because I don't know about you, but I have had so many people when I talk to them and I could say the exact same thing to person A and they laugh and they're happy about it. I can say the exact same thing to person D and they're pissed. Anybody experience that kind of thing? So this tool I'm about to give you, and I've got a cheat sheet for you to kind of just get an understanding of it. Because on our team, when we talk to buyers and sellers and we pass things off to admin or we pass it off to other agents on our team, we tell them somebody's DISC profile, which says, this is how you communicate with them. Okay? So all of our text messages, all of our emails, all of our phone calls, all the messaging is based around how that person communicates. And it's why people feel like they're heard, they're seen, and they're understood, because we're simply doing the same thing and communicating in a manner that they take it in the way that we intend for them to. And if they don't, then it's our job to ask, what did you hear? And then make sure that you get that done. That make sense? Okay. So as a KWU instructor, as a bold coach, we learn all these different things. And I do it at a pretty high level. I do it so much now, it can be frustrating for my team members because I'll ask them what their DISC profile is, because how I'm going to respond to whatever their question is will be different based on the person. I got 4 answers for every question you ask me. That's why when I talk to you guys in the hallway, I may give you a different answer than you because you're different personality styles. Well, that's not what he said to me. No, I'm trying to talk to you the way I think you'll get it. That makes sense? Okay. So you have a sheet. right here, a little cheat sheet, right? Because you're like, what is this? So there are basically 4 personality styles. Now, they all fluctuate. I'm going to show you mine, okay? But there's basically 4 personality styles. D, right, is in the top right corner. That is the driver. That's the dominant person, right? They're very driven. They're very direct. Then you have the I, which is the influencer. They're the people that love people. They're bubbly. They're larger than life. They can talk to people. They can talk to anybody, right? Then you come down, you have the S. The S is your steady eddies. They're just even, right? They don't make a lot of decisions. They like to make a lot of decisions. And then we have our C people, which are all really, really compliant people, very, very detail oriented. A lot of accountants, attorneys. They like exactness, right? These people exhaust you. Okay? So I'm not a C. Okay. And I'm going to walk you through different parameters with them, but I just want to make sure you understand there's 4 different styles. And the easiest way to start figuring out where somebody is look at the bullseye in the middle. See that bullseye in the middle? That looks like a bullseye. It says speed and tempo. Everybody here see it? Speed and tempo in the middle. What happens is when you meet somebody for the first time, first question you ask is, do they talk fast or do they talk slow? Oh, take one. That's fine. So, do they talk fast or slow? So, do you talk fast or slow? First question. Would you say that you, so Nick, would you say you talk fast or slow? Okay. Who here says that thinks that they talk fast? Okay. All right. I know my boy Jerry does not talk fast. He's very measured in his communication, right? He's so automatically he doesn't talk fast, right? So could he be an I or a D? No. We're down to 2. Right? Now, if you talk slow or slower, for example, I talk fast. You hear me talk fast, right? So where I'm one of the top 2. That makes sense? So it starts there. Yes, sir. I'm getting come to that next. Come to that next. Just bear with me. I love it because it is. Because we're gonna come to a gap sound. Just going off of the. So I'm going to show you my disc profile. Okay. So what happens is you first want to start and look at how somebody talks. Now there's this thing called adaptive style where when people are being looked at or they're at their job, they think they have to act a certain way. And that presents differently than who they are naturally when nobody looks. And we're going to come to that. Right now, I just want to kind of get you a basic understanding of when you talk to somebody. First question to ask is, do they talk fast or do they talk slow? That's where we're starting. And then, are they warm with communication or are they cool or cold? Are they warm, friendly, or are they not friendly? Those 2 things alone give you an idea on the bullseye where to start communicating. Okay? Does that make sense? Now, the other thing I'm going to ask you to do to get really, really good at this is I'm going to send you a link, a free link for the DISC profile. And I'm going to suggest your best friend, your spouse, your significant other, kids, somebody that your parents, somebody that you're around a lot, you can communicate with a lot, have them take it. Because you know them really, really well. And having them take it, and then you're going to read pages 17, 18, 19, which is how they learn, how they communicate, how you communicate well. And you're going to learn, a lot of these will connect dots with people that you already know. They go, oh, that's why when I say the word why, they get mad. Right? Certain words you can't say to certain styles. It creates instant stress. Okay? But there's also words you can use that instantly bond with those people. And we just don't want to feel it. Okay? So first, you start in the middle and you go, all right, they talk fast or they talk slow? Are they warm or are they cold? Because if they talk slow, I already know they're on the bottom. If they talk fast, I know that they're on the top. If they're cold or cool, they're going to be either a D or a C. And if they're warm, they're going to be an I or an S. Now, nothing is certain. These are just generalities. Everybody is all of these things sometimes. You're just looking for what they naturally are left to their own devices to have a conversation. So here's how the D operates. A D is going to be cold, right? Just hurt. They're lovely people. Doesn't mean that they're not caring, giving people. It just means they're to the point, matter of fact, don't waste time, use less words. They want it to bullet point. A D wants you to bullet point. So if you write 3 paragraphs in the email, do you think they're going to read any of it? They're going to give you line 1 and be like, next. Right? That's why we write emails. And we write emails, there's a bullet point to the top of the email. And then if you want more details for the high detailed C, you write the paragraphs below. D is going to get through 2 or 3 of the lines. The C is going to read everything and tell you every misspelled word, every pronunciation is wrong, punctuation is wrong, everything, right? Right? And the D is like, I don't care. Just give me the facts. That's it. Right? Bullet points. So a D, they always ask what questions? What's happening? What's going on? What needs to happen? They're not about people, they're about tasks. They have they're very quick to anger. Like they're going to go from 0 to 60 in like 2.5 seconds because they're motivated by the bottom line, the challenge. They love challenge. If I want to motivate a D, all I have to do is say, you can't do it. They didn't want to do it. Wasn't on their radar to do it, but they're going to show me that I'm wrong and they're going to do it. They didn't want it. Didn't care about it. They're like, oh, you can't do that. Well, I'll show you. Challenge accepted. Right? Now, that could be used for good when I'm dealing with buyers and sellers. But you have to use this always as the fiduciary of our clients. So you have these tools that you can use for good or bad, and we use them to be the fiduciaries of our clients. So it's only for their good to just get them to communicate. But they love challenges. Their mantra is, I will do it. If you're that person who's always said, I cannot explain this to somebody else, it's going to be faster if I just do it myself. How you doing, Dean? Because they're going to get it wrong. They're not going to do exactly the way I want it. It's going to waste my time. Now, these have 2 huge triggers. They don't like being taken advantage of or wasting time. They always assume you and everybody on the planet is out to get them, you get over on them, you are there to take advantage of them and waste their time. Drives them nuts. They need to be reassured nobody's getting a better deal than you. But if somebody got an exception on commission or price or anything, it applies to them. Nobody gets a better deal than them because they feel like they're getting taken advantage of all the time. That's their go-to. You're trying to give away my house. I'm just giving you the data, and I'm not trying to give away your house. Yes, you are. Right? Can you get this done on a weekend? I'm going to be done. But don't give away my house. I want more than full price. I want it done on a weekend. Right? I don't waste any time. I don't lose anything, but I can't lose it. That's a D. A lot of fun. Okay. But they so you have to work with them. So for them, they're task-driven people. So you have to just make sure whenever you're communicating with them, they know you didn't miss a sale. You didn't miss a showing. You got more showings than everybody. And I'll walk into detail. That's just kind of general overview. Now the I is for the left. Your I is going to talk. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Jeff. He's like, ooh, let me find an interruption so I can talk to somebody. Let me find people to talk to somewhere, somehow. Right? If it's an hour-long listening presentation, he's like, can we do 2 hours for bathroom break? Like, this is great. I enjoyed meeting. I want to know you more. I want you to know me more. We should get together after this and hang out. Right? Just, a D has 5 friends and doesn't want a single another friend. They got 5. They don't want 5 more. They don't want small talk. They don't want any of that. And he's over there like, what else do we talk about? This is amazing. Oh my God. We're talking about selling a house. I thought we were talking about fishing or boating or whatever. I don't even care about fishing or boating, but if you love it, I love it. Let's have a good time. I bet you can convince me to love it. I mean, they are all about a good time. And they are driven by fear of rejection or fear of missing out. So, for example, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if we price your house up that high, how's it going to feel when somebody chooses another house over yours? What? They're going to pick somebody else over me? Also, look at his face. Right there, he was just like, automatically. It's not even him. He's like, right? Yeah. Like, oh, no, you can't not pick me. Isn't that a powerful statement? Very different than a deed, right? They're like, I'll wait 2 weeks. Don't be $1 on the table. He's like, pick me, pick my house. Don't reject me. They have fear of rejection or fear of missing out. They get very upset when they're not invited to things. They're not involved in things. Even if they can't make it, they want to know they're invited. They love flattery and recognition. They are optimistic when all signs point that they should not be optimistic, and they will find a way to be optimistic. And help. Their mantra is, you can do it. They're a great cheerleader for everybody else. Great cheerleader for everybody else. You got this. You can get done. It's amazing. They hate rejection. They're larger than life. They use a lot of feeling words. They always talk about feelings. Oh, it's sticky. It's gross. Oh, it's warm. It's inviting. Oh, it's wonderful. It's awful. It's the worst thing ever. It's the best thing ever. Big, large, huge, right? So you're like, okay. Right. Now, S's, the exact opposite. They're like this. They don't go up and down, right in the middle. They're just, everybody's got to win. They're steady. They're even. Not too up, not too down. They hide their emotion. S's hide all their emotion. Everybody has to win. Everybody has to get a trophy. So when they go to put their house in the market, it's a show because I want everybody to win. And they have a hard time picking an agent because they don't want to reject anybody. So I have to say, you know what? You're beating with other agents, right? Let me do you and them a favor so they save time and spend time with their family after this point. I'll call them. I'll tell them that you wanted to work with them. I convinced you to work with me. And if you have a buyer, I'll split the commission with you 50-50. And they go, you'll do that? I went, absolutely. And now I have to make a decision because they will never, ever want to make a decision. This is my favorite thing in does. Hey, what do you want for dinner? Oh, I don't care. You choose. Oh, I don't care. What do you want to do? I don't care. You choose. I'll be happy with whatever you want to do. It's all about win-win. But they also have a hard time making any decisions. They make none. But if they make a decision, somebody's going to lose. You have to help them not feel like anybody's losing. Their big mantra is being motivated by benefits to all. Their big mantra is, now that I understand what you're saying, I can do it. Like, why do I have to pick? What's important about that? So that if there has to be a loser, we all don't get a trophy, I can still move forward. Like, what's important? Because once I understand what's going on and why we're doing it, right? And then you have to constantly ask them how they're feeling, and they're always going to say fine. Because they are going to hide emotions at all costs, because that's bad. That causes friction. That causes conflict. They want none of it. They hate negotiating. You know, can I just put a price out there and can't they accept it? Can't we just move on? Like, they don't want any conflict. You are the conflict there. Right? They can't help but ask why questions. Why? Why are we doing it? They need to understand the why behind what you're doing and get on board. And if you don't give them a good reason, they're going to struggle. Now, your C's are very slow and they're cool in conversation. They're about details. They're detoured. They are risk averse. Write this down below somewhere on the C area. I'm going to write the word guess. Write the word guess. Circle it, put a line through it. Never, ever, 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 ever ever say to a C, let's just throw it up there and let's see what happens. Let's guess and just never, ever tell a C you're going to guess. You just put them in panic mode like nothing. I mean, they will freak because they have a fear, they're risk averse, and they're motivated by correctness. If you're guessing, you have no idea what's supposed to be correct. They need data, lots of it. Lots of it. The D is like, give you the 2-minute bullet points. And I'm gonna run you guys through a couple scenarios of this so you can see it in action. Okay. But their mantra is, I will do it right no matter how long it takes. They always ask how. How do I get this stuff? How do I get my house ready for the market? How's it getting marketed? They are all about the process of getting things done. So, do you think an email to them about the selling process is going to be different than the D who wants to not waste time, get the bullet points, or an I who's all about being liked and cared for, or the S is like, I don't know, you tell me, I don't know, you tell me, I don't know. Can you see how there's 4 different ways right there? So to review, with D, they're always going to ask what question. You always have to ask what's going to happen. What's going to happen next? With I's, it's always who. They care about the people. Who's involved? Who's showing me the house? Who's doing the transaction coordinating? Who am I talking to? Am I talking to you? Am I talking to somebody else? Who's coming to my house? Who am I negotiating with? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? They're all about the people. They care about the people. S's always ask why. They need to know the foundational reason that they're doing this. And the C is always going to ask how it gets done. Now, on the very, very top, you'll see it says fast aggressive, and here's no tone. So look at this as we're going to be constantly flipping. So I got the top half and I got the bottom half. And I've got the left half and I got the right half. So there are similarities between D's and I's. Number one, they're generally fast and intense, and they don't hear your tone. Why is that important? If you're talking to somebody and you're a D or an I, and you say the word fine, which can be said who knows how many different ways, I is a D and an I don't hear tone. When I say the word fine to you, I actually only heard the word fine. Sometimes it sounds like this. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. In my head, I said fine. Now, imagine the person on the other end who heard that. If I'm an S or a C and all I hear is tone, I could have just rocked your world with my snack fine. And I had no idea I did it. No clue that was my tone. No clue. Not on purpose. It's just who I am naturally sometimes, right? Right? Because I'm a D or I, then when I come in here sometimes, I have to remind myself to smile. Sometimes I got so much stuff going on. I'm like, I don't have time for this. I don't have to get stuff done. I'm like, hey, how are you guys? Right? And meanwhile, I'm sounding like, just, get it done, right? Fine. You gotta learn that. You gotta know that's what you're doing. So when you say something, if you're a D or an I, and you look across the room or you see that person and they're crushed or they're not responding the way that you hope with what you said, realize the problem's not them, it's you. And I was that guy that told everybody, that's not what I meant. You should understand what I meant. Yeah.
Don't listen to how I said it. Listen to what I said.
Yeah, don't listen to how I said it. And then S's and C's, they are cautious and they hear tons of tone. All they heard was tone. They didn't hear the word fine. All they heard was, however I said it, that's what they heard. The word was irrelevant. Okay? Which means we have to get comfortable with people to say, when I communicate this way or when I upset you and I don't catch the cue, please say something. Right? Give me the chance to make it right. Because that's the deal. Because by the way, does everybody here know how to apologize? I'm not being funny. Like I taught my son this. Because we don't really realize we screw up all the time. So just get really good at apologizing. It just makes life easier. So you ready for here's, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. that I messed up, blah, blah, blah. What can I do to make it right? I just shut up. I let it get uncomfortable until they tell me how to make it right. And usually when we get like, oh, it's no big deal, whatever, but I don't know. I messed up. What can I do to make it right? And then I do whatever it is they ask me to do. Or if I can't, I fire myself. I fired myself from listening. Screwed up. Didn't do it right. So it happened, but own it. I can't make that. I can't fix that. Okay. I mean, either make it right or get out of the way. It's just the real world. But with relationships, you're the first one to go, God, I'm so sorry you hurt that way. What can I do to make it right? Let's just move on, right? And then get better. And then it makes it more comfortable. And this is with buyers and sellers, everybody. It makes the relationship healthy because now you can communicate. Because it's a safe environment to go, I can be wrong, right? And I may hit my nerve, and then you can learn. Now it's a safe environment. So to go, hey, you just ripped my head off. Oh God, I did. I'm so sorry. Let me back up and do it. How to do it. Right? Because it's just how you are naturally sometimes. So we dealt with the top is you're fast. Generally, I's and D's are fast, aggressive. They walk fast. They use fast mannerisms. They're just everything about them is generally just quick. Right? Generally. S and C's are cautious, lots of tone. Now let's look at the left side. So I's and S's are relationship and people based. Notice they're asking who and why. Those are people based questions. They want to know who's involved, how it's going to affect them. They are all about the communication and the relationship with people. Your D's and your I's go to the right-hand side. It says thinking and task-oriented. D's and C's are all about tasks. What's going to happen? How's it going to happen? Very, very different. They don't care about the agent. They don't care about the dog getting your homework. They don't care about what's going on in people's lives. What is the action plan? How are we going to get it done? They don't care who's doing it. They don't care at all. It's not done. Whereas the I needs to know, they have cancer and this and that. They want to know why, right? And who is going to affect. So you got to really pick and choose information on who cares about it. And the fun part is when you sit down with a couple or spouses and you're sitting with a D and an S, you have to say everything twice. You do, right? All right. So, here's my house. What have you guys heard right now so far in our time together? What have you heard?
I don't know. I just want you to hurry up.
I love it, KJ. Seriously, what have y'all heard so far on this? Any takeaways so far?
I like how you broke down the people-oriented versus task-oriented. That's a big helper. I mean, even just this one pager, right?
Yeah.
Like all of us have taken the Tony Robbins DISC assessment and paid for the $25 to get the actual scores. We could read.
Okay. And I'm going to give you the app. You don't ever need to pay for that again.
So we did not know this. Okay.
No, I'm going to give you a link.
Oh.
I'm going to give you a different link.
Okay.
You can give it out to any. So, all right, you can give it out to anybody you know. The only challenge is you won't get the results. They have to forward you their results for you to see them.
Okay.
And I bought unlimited discs. It's free.
Okay.
Don't ever pay for this again. Give it out like candy to do whatever you want. And it's it's straight. It's not Tony Robbins version of this. It is just straight to this company.
So, do you feel could be variances in the results?
No,
Okay.
not really.
All right.
Not really. The format of how it's presented to you is a little different. That's it.
Okay.
But the content, no.
But anyway, just really quickly, like reading through all the pages and the descriptions, and then like this, it's just super helpful.
Yep. I actually keep this up at my desk when I'm communicating with people, and then I have a mirror. I literally have a mirror. I have to remind myself. Like it's so intense. I also stand because my energy is so intense, and I get so aggressive and intense. So I actually stand to try and get some of that energy out, so that I'm not just blowing up people on the phone or blowing them up when I go on appointments. I just try and keep my energy kind of moving. That's what works for me, right? For S's and C's, like they want to sit, relax, right? You got to find your way to manage the energy. Because remember, the person receiving the message decides what it is, not us. Okay. All right. So any other odds? What do we got so far?
Well, I just think it's really informative and it's a great way to down with dealing with. Say, oh my gosh, had I explained it that way, they would have received that information so much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And guys, this is not a work-related form. This is a life-related.
Oh yeah,
This is communication on every level. And for us and our team, the goal is never, ever about selling real estate. It's about becoming a better human.
Yeah.
And that just leads to everything being better. This will help you with your kids, your spouses, any relationship you're struggling with. Once I knew this, I could never talk to my mother. And I was like, oh my God, how did I talk to her now? And I was talking to her completely wrong. Because I was that kid, like, no, this is how I communicate. It's like, I'm driving that poor woman crazy. And I was. And I stopped. It was wonderful. Right? It was just like, oh my God, stop saying those things. It's funny when you're a teenager to pay your parents, but not when you're an adult and you want to actually talk to them. Okay. Anybody else? Before I move on. Now I'm going to walk you guys through some scenarios to try and start to think about. And then the challenge is going to be, I put in the chat here, I'm going to make sure that Jeremiah and Jeffrey has this sheet and the link to taking the disc profile. Your one thing I'm asking you to do from this, get good at this, is pick a person or two people that you communicate with on a regular basis. Get them to take it. Then go read pages 17, 18, and 19 of their disc, and then share with them pages 17, 18, and 19 of yours. Now, this is on this version. I'm 20 rounds. I'm not sure what those pages are, but you'll find it. It's basically how to communicate with them, how to communicate with you, and how you win with them, and how you lose with them, and how they win with you and lose with you. And it might be a little shocking, because I'll also say this: what we naturally do to try and fix things, we generally try and be around people that are the opposite of us, thinking that they are going to counterbalance who we are in many ways in life. And what ends up happening, unfortunately, for the most part, is they drive each other crazy. Because what's really nice and new and different at first becomes friction later. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. Show you what it looks like. Or it can be. Or you better learn how to communicate. Right? Because the ABCs of a D and an S don't mix well. But they're attracted to each other because they're opposites. They're attracted at first. It's new. It's interesting. Oh my God, you're so different than me. But then the day-to-day of life happens, you're like, can you just communicate the way I can understand it? Because that was cute then, but I'm exhausted. Sounds like anybody? Happens, right? So, but regardless, you can find common ground with any personality style as long as you want to just learn about it and get better at it. Okay? All right. Let me give you it works 365 days, 24 hours a day, year method to figure out somebody's disc profile. It works every single time, and I know in less than 5 seconds. I use something that we have every day, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. I use weather.
Said weather.
Weather. So I do this for fun. Every time I get in the elevator here, I go, hey, how about that weather outside? Now the D, direct, right, looks at me like, weather? I didn't answer that. Why are we talking about weather? It's a waste of my time. Like, they tell you, like, whatever. Like, the I instantly goes, oh my God, right? The pollen is so bad. Jesus, oh, my eyes are watering. Oh, but the weather is so beautiful. I can't wait to change clothes. Blah, 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 blah. And you're like, how you doing? And the S instantly goes, I know. How's it affecting you? They're the ones that are going, oh, are you hot in that blazer? It's going to be 80. Are you okay? And then they get all about you, right? And the C is going to be like, I know, can you believe it's going to be 78 degrees today? We only got a half inch of rain last night. We're not going to have wet rain. We're calling this. We're going to have the winds coming in. Blah, 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 blah. Here's the whole week. By the way, it's going to be an awful weekend this weekend. So get all your stuff done this week because this weekend it's going to rain. You don't want to be trying to do stuff. And I'm like, thank you, C. So imagine I walk into somebody's house for the first time to see it. Woo, how about that weather out there?
then you have your answer.
Then you get your answer.
Yeah.
Before I even made the kitchen table,
Right.
I know who they are, whether, I mean, generally speaking, I'm like, I got it, right? Because I mean, I can't tell you how many D's been like, I'm like, thank you.
That's really.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just walk right now. Woo, how about that weather? We have it. 300 days a year. I don't care. Rain or not. I don't care what's going on. I just say, how's the weather? It's great. Just get on the elevator and do it. It's just hysterical. I've done it here a couple times. Like, how about the weather, guys? And you just, some people are like, you're like, whatever. Right? I mean,
It's
There it
here's
is.
the question.
I mean, right? It's just like, it's just fun. And it's easy and it works every day. And it just kind of helps you get a feel for it. Right? And right now you can start thinking about how people you know would answer that question. It just kind of gives you a really quick, easy ballpark. Does that help? Kind of like it just frames it. And we're doing a recording of this. Like, listen to this stuff. Just pick up this section, right? For 5 minutes, you gotta try these things out, right? But I will repeat, best way to get good at this is just redo yours on this website. Read pages 17, 18, 19, see if it's you. And then the other thing is get one or two people you know the best, get them to do it, and just in 15 minutes compare. And see if you don't find some commonalities or automatically go, oh my God, that's why we fight about that. Right? That's why we argue about that thing. How do we fix it? Well, and then just keep it up. And because I'm gonna ask you all the time, like, hey, what's the personality style? My team, it's on our sheet. We went under contract with the buyer seller. Who are they? Are they D, the I, the S, C? Like, how do you get that? Right? I mean, and are we good on that? Okay. Now, we got to go to the second piece. And I'm going to show you my disc. And by the way, discs change. Discs change over time. Give you a simple example. People who have young kids, their D goes way, way up. Because they're trying to keep little humans alive. But it can be exhausting to them. But they got to do it because you have like an S has to turn to a D. It's just sad. They're just conflict all the time. They don't want to have to be that direct and driven, but trying to keep kids safe, right? So sometimes you see D's really, really rise up, or you'll be in an environment where it's not safe, and you'll see it plummet because you can't speak your truth. And I'm going to show you what that looks like, because we have what's called a natural style of how we are naturally, who we are every day when nobody's looking, and then you have the version where this is how I'm supposed to walk around in the world. And if they're in conflict, if you're really, really off on who you really are and who you think you need to be seen as, that's where stress, anxiety, and depression come in. Because if you are forced, for whatever reason, to not truly be you, there's conflict. It means you're either in transition or you're in some environment, generally speaking, that isn't working for you, whatever it is. And you have choices. If you're in a safe environment, you can mention to the people you're in that environment with and say, help me fix this. Or worst case scenario, you have to leave that environment. Or find tools to cope with that environment if you can't. And only the fact you're not crazy for feeling exhausted and tired and spent. Because you have conflict with who you really are and who you have to be. And we all have those periods in our lives. Just let yourself off the hook that, yeah, that's why. Right? I'm going to show you what it looks like. On mine. All right, so here's mine. Okay. So this is, can you guys see that? So the colors are my natural style. Like generally, this is how I am, who I am. Okay. Now, and then the grayed out ones are who I think or I'm intending to be when people are looking. Okay. Now, 15 years ago when I first took this, it was very, very different. My I was through the roof, and my D was where it is now. They were both way, way up there. Currently, I want to run the show. I want to drive everything. That's what that says. right? I'm a driver. I want things done. I have fear of being taken advantage of. I hate wasting time at all. And yet I'm in an environment where I've had to tamp down my D. Now I'm aware of this and I have conflict with it sometimes. However, I'm also in an environment with a team and in my life where details matter. These suck at details. We're bulletproof. We need the C's in our life to do all those details. So I have to let go of some of my driver stuff, and I've had to push it down and let other people like admin or other agents do things the way they want to do them. That's hard for me because my way is not the way, it's a way. But I don't care. I want it my way. And I know that, right? Then this also says that my I, which used to be like, oh my God, people, I've morphed and I've changed. Where I'm still above the what's called above the line, I'm still a bit of gregarious and outgoing. But I like more time with fewer people than a lot of people, and I'm having to really kick it up. And that's a change for me. Okay. And then my S and C are below the line. I have very little S or C. I don't believe in win-win. A lot of times I'm like, there's gonna be a winner, there's gonna be a loser. I just want to the loser has humility and I have integrity when I kick their ass. I'm gonna do it honestly, I'm gonna do it ethically, I'm gonna do it with integrity, I'm gonna leave it there and I found you. I want to win. I want to win. But I will not do it under any guise other than doing it as a fiduciary, ethically, and with integrity. But I don't like everybody getting trophies. Well, I'm in a commission-based business, frankly. Like I'm like, let's go. I'm on. I'm okay with it. And you'll notice that my C is even lower because I have to let admin be admin, and I don't like to waste time. I don't want to get taken advantage of. So I want to micromanage. That's bad. So I have had to literally be like, you got this. It's what you do. And it's hard. It's very difficult because I have very strong opinions. Okay, I know what it is. And sometimes I mess up. And I have to go, because they're on the show. I don't run the details, Andy. I'm going to the paperwork. I know that. So with that, I have to let that stuff go. And there's some stuff that we do that are great. They work. They're fine. It's not how I would do it. Because man, I'm not trying. It's hard. Okay. But generally speaking, I'm not now. This was one I took in 2013. Sorry, 2023. Excuse me. And because of the conflict I had last year, I probably need to take it again a little bit because after you have a big change in life, you generally change. So it's never one way. Oh, is that yours?
That was 23. This is 24.
All right. So this was her 2023.
And after real estate, my green went up.
Yeah.
That's this Deborah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was her 2020. This was before real estate. Really high D, had to push down work, had to really push down. So there's a fair amount of conflict here. Funny, she changed jobs. She was not happy with her career choice. Right? Like there was a rub there. Wasn't family, it was career. Yank that one up there. So this is her new one. And guys, please understand, this is not the way it is. This is just a snapshot of potential, right? Now look how different this looks. Look how much her now job is in alignment. Yeah, just drag it to the left. It should. Yep. Let me drive.
No, thank you.
There's that ID.
Seriously. Let me do it.
And I'm good with it because I have dyslexia, so.
So this is her old one. This is her old one. And this is her new one. Do you think this is more in alignment than that? A lot more. Right? She's thriving in real estate. She's at a place where she can use her natural abilities and tools to really push and drive, have just enough. These are not common. And I love the S being off because in real estate, come on guys. everybody doesn't get a choice. That's the hard part. So she knows she wants everybody to win, but she knows they can't. That's just the deal, right? So you just find ways to work with it. But everything else is really, really close in alignment. She's in a good spot. Again, if it's accurate, right? You also want to take this in the morning or whenever you're freshest, no interruptions. It takes 10 minutes, right? And every 2 or 3 years, you want to take it. And it's just read page 17 to 19. They change a little bit. It's not 100%, but it's just a snapshot of potentially how you communicate. Okay. So one last thing on the sheet. Opposites struggle. So an I really struggles with a C. Because an I is all about people and excitement and details just don't matter. And the C's like, I need details. And the I's like, I don't want to talk about details. I want to talk about fun and pain and emotions. And they're like, I need details. And these two really struggle. This is why admin and agents struggle sometimes to communicate. And yet we are both vitally needed for each other. Vital. You got to find a way to communicate. Because that poor woman in there, Deborah, is a high S, and she's dealing with a bunch of D's. And there are days that she's like, and then sometimes she's trying to be helpful, and she pisses us off because she asks us why. And she's just being helpful. She's actually trying to solve problems, and we're like, what are you doing? You call me a child? Like, we instantly go to somebody saying advantage of me, like, it's just like, it's just human nature. It's just how you're wired, right? And then you can't react. You have to pause, breathe, and give a response. Very different than reaction. In fact, one of my goals this year is to be more transparent on my journey because it helps me. My mom died last year, and Saturday I did a reaction post. Pissed, angry, that was reaction. And I know better. Reflect, take a minute, and give a response. Because your reaction you can't control. You can't control the thoughts that just pop in your head. You can't. You can choose not to take the bait. You can choose not to listen to that. That's what's so cool about it. You can't control what pops up. We all have crazy thoughts that pop up. You can't control it. You can pause, which will be our next class, by the way. And you can go, I want to give my response. So I was angry, I was upset, I journaled, played the guitar, reflected, and magically my response was 180 degrees of my reaction. So in dealing with different styles of people, it's okay to say, I need a minute. I've actually said to people, like, I'm in high emotion, I want to give you my reaction, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to take a break, and come back so I give you my response. So it's hard to do. Or if you give reaction, that's when you come back and go, I gave my reaction, I apologize, what can you make it right? I want to do it. That was my reaction, that's not hard. We're human, just own it, right? So where are you in conflict? Are you in conflict? Are you in a good space? Are you in an environment that you can talk about that with your spouse or significant other or whoever you're around most? Can you guys learn to communicate better and start communicating when somebody upsets you over what they said? It starts with people you know already. And then you take that, and then I show you how to work with it with clients. I already give you a couple things. Like with the disc profile with a high D, we're going to get the most money in the shortest amount of time on the market. They want 2 seconds of data. We're expecting 6 showings, and you have a run. We got 10. That's it. That'd be expectation. Next. C is, well, each house had 5 showings. This house had 6 showings. This had just change up a little bit. But you can template all your emails. You can template all your text messages. Oh, guys. Bullet point at the top. All the details on the bottom. Insert stats or data for each property. Insert address and name for each thing. And you're a hero. You're giving warm and fuzzy communication to all the different styles out there. Stop handwriting all of your emails and text messages. This is how you get great customer service. Speak it the way they want to hear it, and you can do it in one email or one text message, right? I've even had to do things like, I sent you an email, a text message, right? I need you to read the first 3 lines, right? Because the D's like, can you just tell me in this text? I want to read that. I've had it. I have it, right? And then the I's like, can we talk? Can you call me? And I'm like, I don't have an hour and a half. Right? I don't have an hour and a half to talk about this, man. You know?
That's who you call and you say, I have an appointment at 3. I've got 15 minutes.
I'll give you tools, man. Or you say, hey, this is a business call. I've only got a couple minutes. Do you have a couple minutes? And then they want to dive into friends stuff. Go, hey, you know what? Can we book something else for that? Because this is all about this. Like, there's ways to deal with all the people and not take it too bad. The polar opposites. So the D and the S are polar opposites of each other, which means they have the hardest time communicating with each other because the S wants everybody to win and make no decisions, and the D's like, hurry up and make a freaking decision, and I'm winning, no matter what. The I and the S have a hard time because the S is like, oh, I don't care, whatever you think, whatever you want to do, right? I'm sorry, the I and the C. And the I and the C struggle because the I is like, yay, let's what do you think? The C is like, well, let's make sure that this is the right way to go and the right thing to do. And we have the directions. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? Directions where we're going? I don't want to go the fastest way. I want to go and see that thing. And I want to go see that thing. I want to go see that thing. But he's like, no, it's going to take us 3 hours out of our way. And we got to be on time. We got to be on track. We have a budget. We have to blah. And the guy's like, well, we're going to miss all the fun. And these people are married.
Yeah, my husband is a C.
I mean,
And he's
right? And you're like, and I loved it at first because you fixed things that I didn't do. And now you're like, well, wait, man. It's the buzzkill. I want to go and have fun. And the other person's like, we are having fun. You see, we're in budget. We're on time. This is great. Everything's happening exactly like we planned. And the guy's like, where's the fun in that? No, husband and wife like that. It's on your house. Go. Right. And the Steve's looking at data, and the guy's like, they didn't pick us. And he's like, no, like, we are less than 45 days in the market. It says 45 days, so we're not going to do anything until we're on the market 45 days. And the guy's like, they didn't take us. I want to be done. And you got to know all this stuff. And thank you for laughing. I want to be fun because it really is supposed to empower you just to communicate better with everybody. Yeah, I even go when I'm pumping gas. And I'm like, how's the weather? Swear to God, it's just so much fun to see who people are. It's like, it's just so much fun. It's just so much fun.
It's great with your kids too. I was reminding myself of my son Dalton compared to me. It's just
Yeah, like, and if you don't have privilege, your kids, spouses, parents, like, just get it, take it. You just don't even just take this and forward the results. And again, already worth it. Nobody's paying $25 for this anymore, but unlimited. Jim, I'll give you the link.
Yeah.
I got it. Did this, and you'll get it. So just get with those two guys and send it out. But just realize the person who gets it, they have to forward the results. Okay. I don't get it, nobody gets it. You want to see. Okay. And by the way, you also have to validate this because sometimes you might be off. You take it, or they took it, they weren't in the right headspace, they had a lot on their mind. So you got to validate it. You got to go through, is that you? Is this really you? And then they say, no. Let's try this again later. Not always right. Okay. And it's just a tool. Okay. So in short, sum up. Start with they speak fast, they speak slow, they warm, they cool. And then kind of just go wherever they go. And just see what happens. And realize that on top of you got to explain what's going to happen. What's going to happen? What? I care about the people. I only want to hear about these people. S, I want to know why, the details, and the C, I want to know how. And then we've got all the other things. And this is just a starting point. But the way to get good at it is first do it with somebody you know, validate theirs, validate yours, right? And then have fun. Ask people how the weather is. Just see if it's a good time. And see what you get. It's very interesting. Okay? And then the next level is how do you put that into a buyer consultation, or a listing consultation, or negotiations with another agent, or your buyer or seller. And that's when things really get pretty good. That's when we really get to be fiduciaries, because we're getting people safely to communicate with us what their needs and wants are, We can hear them, communicate back to them, and then we have trust. And that's how we can build a referral-based business. This has been like I don't care what we say, it's how we communicate it to those people so they hear it. And it's been the foundation of because people feel heard and seen, because they are, because it matters. They're not bending to us. I'm bending to them. Because the high I, by the way, wants to hear about all your accolades and everything you've done, and all that they love it. They want to hear more. The D is like, I can care less. And the C is like, I don't care what you're saying, show me the data. Right? And the S is like, if you're happy doing that, I'm great, but whatever. Get another talk.
I've had a hard time being a D when the I's, but how are you doing? I'm like, oh, that's so uncomfortable. Don't ask me how I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not your friend. I don't want to be your friend. I got fun. I'm good. Right?
Okay, if you're ever looking for number 6.
All right. We're about out of time. So what you help me with is, what have you gotten from this? What have you heard? Give me at least one aha. What have you heard? But do you guys know what AHA stands for? Let's back up. Let's get foundation, because I feel like we've lost a lot of our culture and foundation and kid. I mean, do you guys actually know why we call them AHAs? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad we're talking about this. Guys, AHAs stands for Agents Helping Agents. Because I'm up here talking about something, and yet you guys are all thinking of things, and you're going to say something in AHA that somebody else thought and was thinking about, didn't want to say. And that's how we help each other, by sharing. And we ask for AHAs, it's a safe environment to talk about things, share, because you're going to help other agents with where you're at. I know this stuff. Where are you? What did you get? That's the importance of AHAs. Doesn't matter what I know. Remember, the person receiving the message decides the message is. AHAs are your way to tell me, what did you receive? Did I do a good enough job to get you guys there? So when I don't get any input, I'm like, oh, I lost them. Right? So, and people need to hear from you, not me. What you got? Yes.
I'm clearly a high I. This one pager in this class, for me, has taken the whole disc assessment, the whole thing. I mean, I want everybody to retake it so I can revalidate it, because now I'm like, holy moly. It just.
Well, I mean, I think it's amazing because we can walk right out the door and say, how's the weather? I mean, you gave us something to immediately put in practice.
Yeah.
We have to go home and study anything. We can do that like on the elevator.
Yeah, right. Just see what happens.
Yeah.
Anybody you talk to. I mean, I've been lying sometimes. I'll be D&D or whatever. I'm like, man, how about that weather? And it's just fun. It's like somebody will then be like, oh my God. It's like, there they are.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, some of the people are glued to the shoes. Like, oh. It's great. What else?
I like the information about how to write better emails, so that it just covers everybody, bullets, details. Everybody's happy.
Yeah. And if depending on who you are, you might be that high C as an agent and be like, I want them to know everything. So it makes you okay because you're like, okay, I can get it out. Like, make sure you get it out in the way they can take it, right? And for the C, for any of you C's in here, and in this environment, I can't figure that out. Your mantra is done is better than perfect. If you're a high C, it's done is better than perfect. Or the reverse of that is perfection is the enemy of progress. Nobody cares if your flyer has a misspelled word or is missing a period. It's not going to make the house sell faster. You're going to need business cards. You'll need a website to sell houses. You need relationships. Communication is it. Because you can't do that on a website or on a business card or on a flyer. And agents go in this, and I'm not knocking it. I get it. You think I gotta have all this stuff shiny and perfect. Guys, my bio on my website still had me married. Like, I just did fix that stuff. We still sold houses. Like,
Never did.
never fixed it. Never fixed it. But I mean, like, I'm saying, like, relationships is everything. Everything. And also give yourselves credit, because you're here right now, so you already are showing you're great agents, because you're freaking here, being learning based, wanting to get better. Like, that alone shows you like you're gonna be okay. You just keep showing up like this, you can't lose. Right? You just gotta do it. Right? So I mean, like, really, like, the fact that y'all are here doing this, like, yeah, we got some growth minded people. And our goal, by the way, is I do this with my team, is we decide to open it up. So Tuesdays at 9 o'clock, it's gonna do this. We'll do an hour, and I usually just do it with my team. I said, put everybody in, right? We did get the seller to pick pricing last week. The recording of it, so you should never pick price. You should never ever pick the price. Make the seller pick the price. And I have a really simple way to teach that. In fact, Thursday, I'm teaching win with sellers down in Charlotte. Anybody's welcome to come. Carpool, if you want to come with me. And I walk you through the whole listing process and disc and ways of doing all that. Just quick. Because my listing presentations are maybe 45 minutes. Maybe, with different styles. Used to be like 2.5 hours. 45 minutes and out the door. Price has been picked. We're done. So anyway, all right, other ahas real quick, and we'll call it. So you guys hadn't said yeah. I got some quiet people. What have you heard? Yeah, question.
How do you get better at responding versus reacting?
Great question. How do you get better at responding versus reacting? Well, first off, acknowledge number one, the very first thought is reaction. It's easy, foundational. The very first thing that pops in your head is reaction. Not response, is reaction. So right there, if you will just pause, you maybe have to teach yourself to take a deep breath. Right now, as goal coach, I have this. I have a bracelet. This is my pause. When I'm in reaction mode, my way of pausing is I go, and it's just enough time for me to breathe, think about something else, and go, is that really what I think? Or not? But the first thing that comes into your head is reaction. That's human nature. Might be the response too, but I know it's reaction. Then you have to figure out how long or how much time you need to realize, is that my actual response? And do I believe that to be true or not? And that takes reflection. Reflection could be 1 second, 10 seconds, 2 days, a week. I don't know. But it just takes practice. The first step is realizing the very first thought that pops in your head is reaction, and you don't have to believe it. You don't have to think of it. Anybody here new? You're like, nobody's gonna want to work with me on this. Do we have that one? You're like, why are they working with me? Right? Right? Yeah. Right? So you don't have to take that bait. Not true. You're staying on the shore of the giants and markets in there. Anybody will help you. Maybe ask a question. As a professional, your only job is to know what you know and know what you don't know. You don't have to know. What you do have to say is, let me find out. That's it. You think you have enough people here that can help you find out? Right? All you have to do is be a professional and know what you know and know what you don't know. And then we'll find out. That's it. Let me get back to you on that. And then, by the way, based on the disc, watch this. If they're a D, what about that? An I, who would you like to handle? They're a S, so tell me, why is that important? Or if they're a C, so how do you think that's going to affect you? Great question. Don't get the reaction. And there are other tools. One is journaling. Like I'll sometimes I'll journal it, right? Get it out. Here's my reaction. Okay, whatever. Right? Get the noise out. And by the way, for the high C's, what I just said to him, I have to data on. So let me just real quick. So here's the high C. I'd say, by the way, you have 1.2 million thoughts every second in your brain, and your brain can take in maybe 180 bits a second. So if you imagine confetti falling from the ceiling, 1.2 million bits of confetti, your brain can only grab 180. So if it grabs the wrong 180, reaction, it's always like the 1.2 million bits around you. You get to drop the ones you caught and look around and grab the ones you want. Make sense? They don't teach us that. That's how the brain works. You have so much stuff coming to you every second of every day. We're all exhausted from from the team decision. Different conversation. But we will be doing next, I'll do the, it's time. It's the accountable versus victim quotient so that we can really own our worlds. But all right, we're out of time. Any other last ahas from this?
I just want to say thank you for teaching us about the disc profile as well.
No, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. My pleasure. This is helpful.
Yes, and I like how you condense each profile down to a question that they like. Super simple to remember. Love that.
Or if you don't know, just go back and look.
Yeah.
When you get it wrong with somebody, just go back and reflect and go, oh, damn it. That's why I got it wrong. Right?
Right,
It happens.
right.
And by the way, when you do that, you get to call them back and go, hey, can I have a do-over? I asked you this, and what I really should have asked was this, and you might win them over. I've done that a bunch. But, you know, it's not over until it's over, but oh my God, you know what? Can I have a do-over? I asked you blah, 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 and I should have asked you this, and, you know, and then. Exactly.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. Happy Tuesday. All right. Oh, there'll be a recording of this